They say silence is golden, but what if I told you that silence holds the incredible power to break even the strongest of egos? It can dismantle the walls that people build around themselves, brick by brick, without a single word spoken. In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, where voices clash like swords in a never-ending battle, there is a hidden strength in choosing not to engage. This is not merely a strategy for winning arguments. It is a profound Stoic practice, one that goes beyond the noise and reaches deep into the essence of who we are. Today, we will dive into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, where silence isn't just the absence of sound, but a powerful tool for personal transformation and reclaiming your inner peace. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you see yourself and the world around you. Imagine stepping into a bustling forum in ancient Rome, where debates are more than just about exchanging ideas. They are spectacles of verbal prowess. In one corner, amidst the storm of raised voices and heated arguments, stands a Stoic philosopher. Rather than jumping into the fray, he remains calm and silent. This isn't a passive act. It is a deliberate choice, embodying the Stoic belief that sometimes the most powerful statement is the one left unspoken. The Stoics, known for their emphasis on inner peace and rational thought, taught that not every provocation deserves a response. By holding his tongue, the philosopher shows strength, not weakness. He demonstrates that one can choose not to be swept away by the emotional currents of disputes, to remain unaffected by the chaos around them. Now let's bring this concept into our modern lives. Consider the everyday arguments that arise, whether in a team meeting at work or a discussion with a partner at home. What if, instead of responding hastily or escalating the situation, we chose to pause and reflect? This moment of silence isn't about ignoring the problem, but about creating a space for clarity and calm. It allows everyone involved to step back, cool down, and approach the issue with a more composed mindset. Embracing silence in the face of conflict can transform relationships. It shifts the dynamic from one of confrontation to one of contemplation. It encourages all parties to consider not just their next words, but the impact those words will have. Silence can break the cycle of reactive responses, which often do more harm than good in tense situations. This approach doesn't mean avoiding necessary conversations or suppressing important emotions. Instead, it's about choosing the timing and tone of our engagement more wisely. By integrating moments of thoughtful silence into our interactions, we cultivate a more respectful, mindful, and ultimately more effective way of communicating. We learn that silence isn't an empty void. It can be full of purpose and potential. Imagine yourself at a silent retreat, nestled deep in a lush forest or by a serene lakeside, where the only sounds are the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant call of a bird. In such a peaceful environment, the absence of constant external noise allows for unparalleled introspection and self-discovery. Silence, in this context, becomes more than just the absence of sound. It becomes a vehicle for profound personal growth. The Stoics, who focused on mastering oneself, recognized the transformative potential of silence. They advocated for periods of silence to foster inner peace and mental clarity, tools that are essential for building resilience and wisdom. This practice isn't merely about isolating oneself from the chaos of the external world, but about delving into the depths of the inner self. During moments of silence, we confront our thoughts directly, without distractions. Our minds can clarify, sift through the noise of daily responsibilities, and focus on deeper existential questions. What are my true desires? What fears are holding me back? How can I live a more purposeful life? These questions often surface and find resolution in the clarity that silence provides. Engaging in regular introspective silence can lead to greater emotional stability. It doesn't just improve mental health, it enhances our interactions with others. When we are at peace internally, our ability to remain calm and composed in stressful situations improves significantly. Embracing silence helps cultivate a wisdom that is proactive, not reactive. The Stoics teach us that the wise aren't necessarily those who know many facts, but those who understand how to maintain tranquility amidst life's challenges. Picture this. Two friends are caught in a heated discussion about a contentious political issue. As the conversation intensifies, one friend, guided by Stoic principles, chooses to remain silent. This decision to withhold verbal engagement has a surprising and powerful effect. It acts as a mirror for the other friend. In the silence that fills the space, the ranting friend begins to hear their own words echoing back, unchallenged by counterarguments or interruptions. It's in this moment of quiet reflection that they start to recognize the flaws, gaps, and perhaps the extremities in their own arguments. This isn't just a pause in the conversation, it's a pause for introspection. Silence transforms from mere absence of noise into a dynamic force. It provides the speaker with a rare opportunity to listen to their own voice, to consider their tone, to reflect on their words, and confront their own biases and behaviors. When we choose to remain silent, we aren't just withholding our thoughts. We are offering others the space to encounter their own thoughts more starkly. This can lead to moments of profound self-realization. The silence isn't passive, it's an active space that encourages introspection. It invites others to reflect on their own words and actions, often leading to more mindful and measured conversations. In the end, silence isn't just a tool for avoiding conflict or a passive retreat from the world. It's a powerful practice for self-awareness, wisdom, and personal transformation. By embracing silence, we allow ourselves and others the space to grow, to reflect, and to engage in more thoughtful, meaningful exchanges. The Stoics understood this deeply, and through their teachings, we are reminded that sometimes the loudest message can be the peace found in our unspoken words. In our fast-paced world, where constant chatter and rapid responses dominate, embracing intentional moments of silence in our conversations and daily lives can lead to profound personal growth and deeper connections with others. By choosing silence thoughtfully, both the speaker and the listener are encouraged to engage more deeply, not just with each other but also with themselves. Silence is more than just the absence of words. It's an opportunity to pause, reflect, and recalibrate. Imagine the next time you find yourself caught in a heated discussion or a challenging exchange. Instead of rushing to respond, you take a deliberate moment of silence. What if that silence could act as a bridge, helping to close the gaps in understanding? Could it offer a necessary pause for all involved to reconsider their position, allowing for more thoughtful and empathetic communication? In an increasingly noisy world, this kind of mindful silence can open up entirely new avenues for connection and insight. However, while silence is often celebrated for its power, it comes with its own complexities. If misused, it can lead to misunderstandings or even create emotional distance. Consider the example of two friends. One chooses to remain silent for a moment of personal reflection, but the other interprets this silence as a sign of disinterest or neglect. Over time, this misinterpretation can deepen, filling the silence with insecurities, assumptions, and even resentment. This underscores the delicate balance required when using silence in relationships. It must be applied with care, context, and clarity. Effective silence is not simply about refraining from speaking. It's a form of communication that can carry a lot of weight. Silence, when chosen in the right moment, such as during an argument, can signal self-control and mutual respect, offering everyone time to cool down. But remaining silent when a friend reaches out for support, or when an issue needs addressing, can create a rift. The key is understanding that silence is a tool that must be paired with empathy and open communication. It's important to ensure that periods of silence are not seen as emotional withdrawal, but are understood as thoughtful pauses. Saying something like, "I need some time to process this, let's revisit it later," can help set the right context. This deliberate use of silence encourages us to be as mindful of our nonverbal cues as we are of our spoken words. In doing so, we foster stronger, more respectful connections with others. Mastering silence isn't just about knowing when to keep quiet. It's about weaving intentional pauses into our lives to enhance mindfulness, reduce stress, and promote deeper self-awareness. A simple yet profound practice rooted in Stoic philosophy is to introduce mindful pauses during conversations. Before responding in a discussion, take a brief moment to reflect on what has been said. This moment of reflection allows you to respond more thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively. As Epictetus wisely said, "Don't be hurried in your speech or involved in things unnecessary to your purpose." This approach to communication leads to more considered, empathetic interactions and strengthens our connections with others. At home, creating designated hours of silence can provide everyone in the household with moments of peace and personal reflection. During these silent hours, engage in quiet activities like reading, writing, or meditating. This practice not only nurtures a calm environment, but reinforces the value of reflection in daily life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that people often search for peaceful retreats, but true tranquility can be found within the mind. Even during routine commutes or walks, you can embrace the power of silence. Instead of filling your time with distractions like phone calls or podcasts, simply observe your surroundings and let your thoughts flow freely. This shift can serve as a transition, helping you prepare for the day ahead or unwind afterward. Nature walks, done in silence, offer the opportunity to connect with the environment in a more mindful way. As Aurelius once wrote, "Look at the stars lighting up the sky, no one of them stays in the same place." Silence during these moments brings clarity, calm, and connection to the world around you. Integrating regular digital detoxes into your routine is another way to invite silence into your life. By setting aside your devices, you create space for introspection and allow yourself to be more present in your immediate environment. This disconnection from the noise of notifications can help reduce stress and enhance mindfulness. By making silence a lifestyle choice, not just a temporary practice, we cultivate greater patience, self-awareness, and tranquility. This approach to silence is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy and encourages us to live more intentionally, with each pause providing an opportunity to reflect, grow, and reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. In personal relationships, silence can also be a tool for healing and understanding. Imagine a situation where, instead of responding with a defensive reaction during a tense exchange, you choose a moment of silence. This pause allows you to reflect on your partner's words with empathy and consideration. By choosing reflection over reaction, you deepen your connection and demonstrate respect for your partner's feelings. Silence, when used wisely, becomes a powerful way to foster more supportive, understanding, and enriching relationships. In relationships, silence can be one of the most powerful tools we have for communication. It's often not just what is said, but how it's said that determines the course of a conversation. When emotions run high, taking a moment of silence can break the cycle of escalating conflicts and create space for more thoughtful, productive dialogue. By pausing before responding, we allow both parties to express themselves fully without the immediate fear of censure or rebuttal. This moment of reflection is often the key to maintaining respect and emotional control in tense situations. Stoicism teaches us that knowing when to remain silent is just as valuable as knowing when to speak. In the heat of a personal conversation, silence becomes a strategic pause, a sign of care and consideration for the other person. It shifts the interaction from reactive to thoughtful. By practicing this, we create an environment in relationships where listening is as valued as speaking. This leads to deeper empathy, a foundation of mutual respect, and a healthier, more harmonious exchange of ideas. In professional settings, the intentional use of silence can dramatically alter the dynamics of communication. Imagine a business meeting where, instead of rushing to fill every silence with words, a leader pauses after making a significant point. This simple act allows the message to sink in, giving others a moment to absorb and reflect on what was said. Silence, in this context, becomes a tool of confidence. It signals that the leader is secure in their statements, creating an atmosphere of trust and respect. Moreover, strategic silence invites others to speak up. In a meeting where everyone is eager to contribute, it's easy for one person to dominate the conversation. But when a leader pauses thoughtfully, it opens the space for others to step forward, fostering inclusivity and encouraging collaboration. This not only strengthens the team, but also nurtures a culture where every voice is heard and valued. Silence can also play a critical role in diffusing workplace conflicts. During heated discussions, a brief moment of quiet can act as a reset, allowing everyone to cool down and approach the conversation with a clearer, more rational mindset. This pause helps prevent things from escalating into emotional arguments, guiding the dialogue back toward constructive and considerate exchanges. Incorporating this strategic use of silence into our communication styles, both personally and professionally, requires practice and mindfulness. It's about recognizing the right moments to pause, allowing silence to enrich rather than interrupt the conversation. Leaders who master this skill improve not just their communication, but also team dynamics, creating an environment of respect, thoughtful engagement, and collaboration. Beyond personal and professional relationships, silence carries profound significance in society and culture. It's not merely the absence of sound, but a tool for collective expression, whether in moments of national remembrance or as a form of protest. Think of the silent pauses observed during moments of cultural reflection. These moments are rich with meaning, representing shared history, respect, and solemnity in a way that words cannot capture. Silence has also been a powerful form of protest throughout history. Silent demonstrations or moments of quiet resistance highlight causes, challenge injustices, and draw attention to the silent strength of a group standing together for a shared purpose. This quiet resistance is powerful because it speaks volumes without uttering a word. In many cultures, silence is woven into the fabric of communication. It's used to convey agreement, disagreement, or deep contemplation. By understanding the role of silence in cultural contexts, we can learn to navigate its pauses just as carefully as we choose our words. Silence in these instances is an active force. It's not an empty void, but a dynamic expression of thought, respect, and solidarity. The Stoics taught us that silence isn't just the absence of noise, but a presence of profound understanding. It's in these quiet moments of reflection that we often find the loudest truths about ourselves and the world around us. As we move forward, remember that sometimes the greatest strength lies not in what we say, but in what we choose not to speak. Silence is a powerful force, capable of shaping relationships, communities, and personal growth in ways words alone cannot.